Time once again for the 12th Man Rant. I'll be your host, Zach Curtis. Alright, week 4 is in the books, and for the first time in team history, the Hawks are 4-0. Not to say I called it, but I totally called that. With the exception of I thought it'd be a fourth quarter comeback all the way, and it actually went into overtime. That being said, it was an amazing game. Houston played tough all 4 quarters, but the Hawks were able to hang with them, gut it out, and pull out a pretty incredible victory. And I will admit, even though I knew or predicted that they would be down at halftime, that 20-3 lead had me questioning whether or not they'd be able to come back in the second half. This team showed a lot of grit and determination coming back like they did in Houston. J.J. Watt was just all over the place. He was constantly in the backfield. Russell Wilson was sacked 5 times in the first half alone, and the offense was really never able to get it going. But that 99-yard drive that took up, I don't even know how many minutes, but most of the third and into the fourth quarter was a thing of beauty. We didn't look good, but we looked unbeatable. Really, unbeatable. Everything went against us that game, or should have, and we just didn't let it get us down. Russell looked composed as always, even in the face of that incredible pressure. Never really looked rattled. Kept trying to find open guys. Doug Baldwin didn't have too many catches, but the ones he did were phenomenal, and on clutch third downs again. And then don't forget about the mouth, Richard Sherman coming up with that pick 6. Sure, that's Matt Schwab's third in 3 weeks, and so a lot of people credit him with poor decision making, but don't forget, it was just outstanding play by Sherman. And so was it lucky that that was a pick 6? Maybe, but they prepared for that situation all week, and they finally got the opportunity, and they made it happen. So in that way, I guess you kind of make your own luck, which is good for us because we're going up against luck itself this week with the Indianapolis Colts. That's right, the showdown everybody's been waiting for, Russell Wilson versus Andrew Luck. Now we're going to their home turf, another 10 a.m. start. It's going to be a tough game for the Hawks, but I think coming off this emotional win over Houston, we're riding high. We're getting healthier on the offensive line. Max Unger will be back. We get Bruce Irvin back for the first time this year. I can't wait to see with him and Averill and Bennett all lined up, and Clemens. Christ, who are they going to block? Third and long, they're not going to have a shot in the world converting that stuff. That being said, the Colts are a good team. Colts looked phenomenal week 3, beating San Francisco 49ers. But going back and watching that game again, I think it speaks more to the decline of the 49ers than the ascension of the Colts. The 49ers are not a great team. I mean, they're a very good team. They have sound fundamentals. They're tough. They're physical. The 49ers have a weak receiving core. They lack a deep threat with the absence of Michael Crabtree with that Achilles injury. Although Anquan Boldin is a great receiver who I admire greatly, he's really not a deep threat. He's not a true number 1. He can get some separation. He's clutch on third downs. He's what we refer to as a possession receiver, but he's not really going to challenge you. Unlike the Seahawks, we have deep threats in both Sidney Rice and Golden Tate. And then we got Doug Baldwin catching everything he needs to on third down in the most phenomenal of situations. And Zach Miller coming off as the tight end whenever he's not in to block for our porous and banged up offensive line. He's also a great receiver. So I think we have a lot more weapons than the 49ers do, and I think that'll lead us to be a little bit more diversified in the ways we can attack the Colts. I also think that this team is built for the fourth quarter. Pete Carroll preaches week in and week out, it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish. And this team knows how to finish. What to expect from the Indianapolis Colts this week? Well, I think, first off, we're going to expect to see a healthy dose of Trent Richardson in between the tackles, running through the trenches. One of the things that worried me was how easily Matt Schaub was able to just pick apart our defense in the first half. I would expect similar things from Andrew Luck. He's a much better quarterback than Schaub, although I don't think that he has any receivers really the same caliber of Andre Johnson. Yes, Reggie Wayne is probably a future Hall of Famer, but he is a little bit older, and while he's still fantastic, I think that Browner and Sherman will be able to shut him down fairly effectively. Secondly, Hayward Bay's got a lot of speed. He's known as he was a burner when he was drafted, fastest guy in the draft that year, but he doesn't really have the best hands, and he never really caught on Oakland. Now he's in Indy. He's got the best quarterback he's ever had thrown it to him, but he still just doesn't scare me. I think that at the heart of it, our defense will be more equipped to handle these guys than San Francisco's defense was. I wouldn't be surprised if we're down at halftime again, but I really don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like that win over Houston galvanized this team, and I expect to see a strong showing from start to finish. I would honestly predict that we come out and score on our opening drive, and then we never relinquish the lead. Yeah, let's go 27-20 Hawks final. It's going to be a great game. Hope you all tune in, and we'll see you here next week for a Week 6 edition of the 12th Man Rant. Hopefully talking about the Hawks' 5-0 historic start.